Here at Back Channel Brewing on the day of a momentous occasion here. I'll kick it over to none other than Josh Leddy. Many of you know him already from, I don't even know how many appearances on the Soda Pod at this point.
It's up there.
But Josh,
Not enough, Josh. Not enough.
thank you for having us. But just tell everyone, what is this crazy event that everyone's prepping for right now?
We got over 1,000 people coming here today for
Jesus.
puppies. We got,
And that's why.
the Klondike Dog Derby is taking place next Saturday, and we're one of the sponsors of the race. And this is the 3rd annual cute puppy competition that we have hosted in honor of the Klondike Dog Days. And yeah, it's going to be there's going to be a lot of little ones, little furry ones running around today.
So we got to keep our energy levels up.
Yeah, ready for it.
So,
Well,
so much cuteness.
well, maybe not right on par with keeping the energy levels up, but we
gotta get level-headed
what we're
first.
drinking right now.
We are getting our daily greens in because it's very important to have a diversified diet. So we're drinking some Green Party THC Seltzer with prickly pear, dragon fruit, and tangerine.
I get a lot of the dragon fruit on this. And yeah, I very much expected this to be like a lime green. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the live action movies. And they had the one where they had like the ooze in the canisters. Like, that's what I was expecting to see come out. Came out pink. It looks incredible.
We all bleed inside, right? That's just what that is. We're just drinking the
lifeblood
blood of the Green Party.
Well, it's so funny because we were like, do we need to pour it? And you're like, we need to pour it. We're like, okay. And then I see you pouring it. I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, this is why.
It's electric, It's fucking beautiful.
All right, so first beverage of the flight. Obviously, positive reactions all around. I'll let you know shortly here how I feel. But the taste, great. Definitely worth it. I know you two are dabbling in the 10. I'm a bitch, so I got a 5.
Say it like
we
that.
don't need to.
He's a light drinker.
We don't need to get into it.
Scott's drinking the only 6-to-1 ratio can available in the entire state. That's 30 milligrams CBD, 5 milligrams of THC. Isha and I have the 10 milligram with 30 milligrams CBD. And most products on the market are going to have 25 milligram or less. So we got the healthiest beverage out there. I can't, tell people that it's healthy, but it really is. I mean, come on. It's not on the can, right? But no, that's a healthy beverage. And
I love the warning. Made with real fruit, may contain pulp. Yes.
not messing around with fake flavors.
I kind of want, you should have some labeled, with pulp, without pulp, and, find a way to shift the pulp into something. I would buy a pulpy one, for sure.
Interesting.
I'm one of the weirdos that likes pulp orange juice.
Figure that out.
Whatever. Leading off here then, first beer of our flight here today. Again, first live taproom flight. And I guess not beer, first beverage of our flight. Let's talk about the Gophers, because, Josh, you kind of mentioned right away when we got here, oh, yeah, by the way, what the heck's going on there?
It's fun to watch. I mean, they club? Who they club? Michigan State last night, 8 to rip. That's a good win. I mean, I don't
Doesn't hurt.
It's impossible that they're going to get caught in the Big Ten. I mean, they're going to just kind of cruise to that title. Even with powerhouse like Michigan in Big Ten, the U is still able to just continue to win those games. It's going to be tough to sweep a series against a team like Michigan, but you take 1-1 and then you just go and you win. You keep winning series as much as you can, and man, they're just crushing it. Fun to watch.
Very fun to watch. I mean, you look at the top end talent too. I mean, they basically are going back to 07 Ottawa Senators and just saying, you know what, we're just throwing all of our best players on one line. We're going to see how far that can get us. Hopefully it works out better for them than it did for the Sens, because they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals that year. But guess what? If the Gophers just make it to Tampa, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, this is our year, right? We got to do this. The big guys came back. Man,
I've never allowed myself to believe that it's our year. It's just I'm conditioned.
I mean, it's been 20 years since the last title. Mm-hmm. That's pretty sad.
That's crazy. That's
extremely sad.
Yeah. But I mean, actually, I shouldn't even say that. I mean, it's Minnesota sports. But there's more hope for them than I think the Wild going far in the NHL playoffs anyways. So there's that.
That is a positive. And I mean, again, Isha is firmly converted now, so that's always a positive.
And that's all. Hey, cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers
I
to
mean-
that.
Yes, welcome.
Fuck North Dakota. Let's go Gophers.
No DAC.
Josh, no joke. When we were there, like, and again at Mariucci, there's a lot of great traveling North Dakota fans. You're not Sioux fans anymore. Stop it. And no joke, there's like this woman in front of us too, who like we weren't even like heckling or anything. We were talking about an actual bad boarding call on the Gophers, and I can see her just like texting somebody in all caps, like these fucking guys behind us, blah blah blah. She's very much North Dakota. She looks like she's, you guys can just shut the fuck up. And we're like,
Yes.
And it's like this girl sitting there with her parents. And her parents are like, please don't.
Yeah, that's
shit.
priceless.
So it was good. And I'd like look around the stands in the arena and everyone there, and you can just see like the fans going at it. It's awesome.
My favorite, blast from the past. One of my favorite Minnesota Gopher college hockey moments of all time was back in the day. I was in like 6th grade. I was a peewee, so I was probably like somewhere between 11 and 13 years old. And a couple of buddies of mine, and we went to go and try to get tickets, and you couldn't get tickets anywhere. I mean, it was sold out. It was like the biggest game around, and you got scalpers calling hundreds of dollars of tickets. And then this one guy's like, hey, I got tickets, and everybody swarms over to him. They're like, yelling all these big numbers. And then the guy goes, you guys, come over here. And then he just gave us 4 tickets, and it was Brian Lawton.
What?
Yeah, Brian Lawton picked us out of the crowd and just hooked us up with 4 tickets. And it was fucking the coolest thing.
Dude, that is a story for the ages.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen.
I vividly remember it too.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Of course you would. Yeah.
You've almost got to like buy a couple of turtlenecks and wear those out of solidarity with it. Oh man. All right. Well, we'll wrap up these drinks, but we're on to the next beverage, next topic. I'm going to go pour. Josh, tell everyone what we're in for with Nanner Hammer, as well as you usually do, the origin of the beer name.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there actually is still an origin with Green Party. We'll cycle back around on that one because we've got about 20 to 30 minutes for a true onset of the THC with the Green Party here. So let's let that kick in before we talk about it a little more, right?
Good call.
We got Nanner Hammer coming up here. Nanner Hammer is actually named after a local, not like, well, kind of like a mini local celeb. She was on WCCO News, went to high school with Melissa, and oh my gosh, the name is drawing a blank. I can't remember her name now. Shoot. When Melissa comes in, I'll ask her. But she took the internet by storm when it was so cold out during the polar vortex a few years ago that she took a frozen banana and used it as a hammer.
Oh,
and
wow.
hammered a nail into a board. Hence the name Nanner Hammer. Man, I want to break thought to try to think of her name because I will think of it. Rachel Slavic. Boom! Yeah. Oh, man.
Shout out Rachel.
Nice, yeah. Nice work, Rachel. So, yeah, we got Nanner Hammer. This is peanut butter, banana,
This
cacao.
one I don't think
and
has the peanut butter, because that was actually one of the coolest things you guys ever did. So back in the day,
that's right.
So no peanut butter, because they had a Facebook post that said this will not be listed as a beer available in the tap room. But for those that follow us, you're in for a treat. We have the peanut butter Nanner Hammer, and I'm like, oh my God. I had told 4 different bartenders, you guys need to do it with peanut butter. Please do it with peanut butter. Please, please, please. And sure enough, I see that post. I'm like, I had plans today, but no, I'm going out there. And it felt uncomfortable. Whenever you hear about the secret menu stuff, it's like, is there peanut butter in hammer? They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So
was a
this
fun
one's
day.
not peanut butter, but still incredible. Now this has been sitting for a while.
Thanks for calling me on that one, by the way.
I sell her some beers, so
Thank you for having it, bringing it, and correcting me because I forgot.
my goodness, this.
So let me take
that's
that.
what I remember.
Banana, cacao, and Nilla wafers.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
That held up well.
It did, and it changed a little bit, but for me, the banana just rings out so true.
Wow.
It's not like if you like banana, you're not gonna hate it. It's more just I get that right away because I'm looking for it. But the Nilla wafer almost it just kind of settles and smooths it a touch.
It's fun. I like that beer. We got to brew this again. But we should
So
we should
smooth.
but we
Peanut
should
butter.
do the peanut butter banana.
peanut butter.
So
Yeah.
smooth.
PBNH, PB NANNER Hammer.
I love it.
Yeah,
We're just
that's
diving
good.
right into it, going from like
It's not
the,
even-
the THC Seltzer right into the barrel age.
No, it's not barrel aged.
Oh, it's
No.
Imperial, sir.
Here
Yeah,
it is.
11% though.
Okay,
We're,
okay.
we're definitely not.
So it's up
skimping
there. So it's up
high.
there.
on,
Yeah.
on any of that. that's
Trust
for
me,
sure.
I know you guys aren't skimping. My first flight ever at Back Channel, I learned that the hard way.
Did I hook you up with the mega flight?
Oh yeah,
Nah,
That plus
I was
the
not
hot
ready
shot.
for it.
the mega flight.
I was not ready for
yeah.
that.
Oh, the
Oh
hot shot.
yeah.
The B-roll of Joe, if you still have that.
I'm
you
gonna
should
put
throw
that
it
in here.
right
I'm gonna put
now
that in
because
here.
people will lose it. Maybe if I drink a little bit of that, I'll just clear out.
The one beer challenge, like the one chip challenge, you're supposed to finish
It's
a
that,
12
it's
ounce.
that bad though,
You're
huh?
supposed to finish a 12-ounce bottle in like. I can't
Cheers.
remember exactly
I
what
think
it
we're doing.
is.
I think it's like 1 ounce shot
Every minute and a half.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Wow.
That's like a full Will Smith slap right across the
Right.
That's
so,
good.
speaking of bringing the hammer, as Rachel did, let's flip that because you know who's not bringing the hammer this year? I won't say your, but I'm kind of going to still say your St.
I know where
Louis
he's
Blues.
going with this. They're having a tough go.
How did they go from one of like the toughest, grittiest teams to, we'll say Nick Leddy aside, being soft?
You know, losing Perron up front was a big one. I've been in the camp of hoping that for some reason they'll like make a trade for him at the deadline to try to make a run for it again and bring him back
Wouldn't that
because they
be
wouldn't have been able
wild for him
to.
to be traded back to St. Louis for what, like the third time?
Yeah, it would be the third time.
But it's like you know he
Insane.
likes it there. They're a good team. They're not a bad team. You know, I don't think that Bennington's played well enough to warrant. You know,
Shouldn't have
locking
let-
in that starting role that they had.
Shouldn't have let Husso go. That was the mistake.
That's tough. I mean, but at the same token, like if Bennington doesn't get hurt in the playoffs last year, then I feel like they would have gone further in the playoffs. So you know, he could be a gamer in a sense, and he's trying to like you know act up and like getting players' faces and whatnot to try to just make it more of a game for himself. When in actuality, it's just punishing his team and making a bad look on him.
It's really funny for us, though.
Yeah.
Now, so at this point, and again, you know, I know there's ties, familial ties. At this point, are we prepared to say that the St. Louis Blues are dead this year? Do you see any way that they make the playoffs?
I personally don't think they're making the playoffs.
Man, it's tough for me to say that they're going to make the playoffs too because the that Pacific Division is playing so well. I mean, when you got a team like Anaheim that's beating Colorado just the other night, that's crazy. You know,
I mean, the Blues probably like that.
yeah, and the Wild. But now that Colorado's coming back and they're getting more healthy, like that's dangerous. It's going to be very difficult for Minnesota, let alone St. Louis, to make the playoffs. And Nashville's getting healthy now and they're playing good, and they have one of the best goalies in the NHL. And I mean, you can
Don't
ride
even get me
that.
started.
You can ride that
Hey.
a long, long ways.
Hey, at least it's only 3 more years, Nick. It's going to be okay. All right, next one. Keep this rolling. Josh, talk to the people about my favorite beer that you guys have ever done.
Oh,
Ooh.
Na.
Make them say, So if you don't know, I mean, you got to know who the beer is named after now. It is named after Master P, because Master P has some family ties in Minnesota, and his 2 sons played basketball at Minnehaha Academy, and
Wow.
yeah, they did really well. So Master P, baby,
there's so many musical ties to Minnesota. It's insane.
there's a lot.
It's absolutely insane.
There's a lot. I'm actually going to the show tonight. Melissa and I are going to go and see Robert Glasper.
Oh,
It's going
nice.
to be ridiculous at the Dakota Jazz Club.
That's awesome. Well, it's funny. I just started listening to.
Not that was like a Minnesota tie, but he's here tonight, and that's awesome.
Well, I was just listening to re-listening to a band called the Slackertons. They're from what's the town, Hoppy, where you went to? Winona. They're from Winona. But what's funny is I started listening to them 2 years ago when I was back home in Canada. They showed up on my Discovery Weekly on my Spotify, and there's a few songs that I saved. And I was talking to a friend, and she was like, "Oh, have you seen this band? They're local and they play live all the time." And I was like, "I don't think I've heard of them." And then I looked on like my Spotify and I was like, I have 3 of their songs downloaded, and then like memorable songs. Like there's one song called Minnesota Girls, and just there's a ton of Minnesota references to all their songs. And so when I was actually driving here, and when I flew here in last April, that was my playlist when I was like on my way to Minnesota, and they were featured on. So I was like, wow,
Nice.
like it's just so rich with music.
Nice. Yeah, it is pretty cool. One funny thing I read, with Robert Glasper, he wanted to work with Prince always, never got the opportunity, and there was an album he was putting out there, and he wanted to have a Prince song on there, and Prince said no, not gonna happen, and he's like, he gets it, and he made a cool analogy of Prince, and he said that he's the epitome of a walking middle finger. Doesn't care, like he is just completely set in his own right, and that was Prince, and it's pretty cool.
I mean, I feel like
so sad that we don't have him around.
Rock stars are usually like that, but rock stars who are also like artists, because there's a difference. There's a difference between like a person who can put on a show and a person who is also an artist in that. And I feel like Prince was all of that and more, right? That was my mom's favorite artist growing up. So like all I knew in my house was Purple Rain, and she even has that album on purple vinyl that she gave me as well.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Damn.
Dig that. That's got to be worth some scratch.
I hope so. I hope
everything I hoped for, by the way.
The na, I know. So Mark tasted the na. He had a bottle of it somewhat recently, head brewer Mark, and he reached out to me right after. He goes, dude, I had some na, and I am so surprised it held up as well.
Right, because I know Melissa was telling me, like, when I said, like, oh, yeah, I've got 2 of them that I've been saving. One of them's already been drank since, but she's like, oh, like, you drink that as soon as possible. Like, that might not hold up. And I'm like, okay. And then I had it, and I'm like, oh, my God, it held up well. And I even told Mark, because I saw him here the day that we ran into our boy Chris Kelly for his 40th when he was a little buckled.
Wait, how old was he turning?
I don't recall. He never told us. But I told Mark, I'm like, I need Na back. He's like, yeah, that'll probably have to happen.
That was my Christmas present too. Thank you, Hoppy.
Yeah, and then we were in Asheville because we did a collab with New Origin, formerly Dan Junkie of Junkyard, and then we did a collab with Heist in Charlotte. But we had this beer that Burial made. It's called Apostle for None, and it was peanut butter, banana, vanilla, and cacao. And oh my God, it was so good. So we even now embarked on bringing back the peanut butter journey, and we don't have them here to enjoy today, but we got a peanut butter banana imperial stout coming out, and then in our version of the Apostle for None, a peanut butter banana, vanilla, cacao, and it's going to be insane. It is insane. I've tried it before. So
what I like
that's the label for the peanut butter spout, Sparky, named after Charles Schultz, the creator of Peanuts.
I picked up on that quickly with the.
It will be released shortly after this video drops.
Which Charlie's T-shirt there, but.
Yep. Good old Char.
I call him Chuck here, but
yeah, no, this na it did hold up really well. Peanut butter, banana, cacao, and
it's super like drinkable for those who aren't into this style as well, because it's not super sweet. It's nice and rich with flavor. Yeah, it's incredible, man.
Both of the NANNER and NANNER Hammer, they're both 11%, and then the 2 peanut butter ones, peanut butter bananas coming out are going to be 15%. And a couple years with more stout brewing under the belt, and they're banging.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I know but you really don't know how excited I am. All right, we talked about how the Blues are, well, they're done. What do we think about the Wild? Because we have had pockets where they've looked really good, pockets where they've looked really bad, and lately it's mostly been bad. At this point, Josh, first question is, Wild, make the playoffs, don't make the playoffs?
Oh, come on. They're going to make the playoffs.
Man.
They're not that injured.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs.
I'm scared.
Everybody hates Fleury, but I like Fleury, and I think Fleury... I think Gustafson's great backup to have, and push comes to shove, like we're gonna win some games.
Okay, so more importantly, then, can they win a round?
Ooh.
Right now, the leading thought would be that they're either playing Vegas, Winnipeg, or Dallas, or Colorado, because I could see them creeping back in now that they're getting healthy. But against
we can win a round. We can run around.
Against any of them, or like, walk me down it. Can they beat Colorado?
No.
Can they beat Vegas?
No.
Can they beat Dallas?
No.
So you're counting on winning.
This is why he performed that exercise.
Yeah, it's a good exercise. So yeah.
Can they beat Winnipeg?
Yes, they could be Winnipeg.
Okay.
That's
It's
the
actually
only
really funny.
one.
Hellebuck was just on the 32 Thoughts podcast for a full interview, and he talked about the year that they lost to Vegas to go to the finals.
That was their year,
and
man.
he literally like talked about each series in depth, and he's like, but for the first series where they beat the Wild, he's like, yeah, we went into Minnesota and just basically kicked the shit out of them. We felt really good after that one. So maybe we can use that as bulletin board material.
That's
some
hilarious.
hate.
Definitely
Wow.
could be.
Man, I always get scared when someone's got that good of a goalie and they have scoring. Their blue line is a concern, which, I mean, I feel like is always the case when you have that kind of combo. But Winnipeg is definitely the team you want out of those four.
They're on the Wild's level. The other teams are a step above.
I thought you would say they could beat Dallas, and I'm disappointed you didn't because I was going to argue with you, but I think we agree. I think Dallas is a wagon. I've been saying it
Dude.
the last couple of years. No one agrees.
There's some people on my YouTube channel's chat who've put in futures bets for Dallas like last summer, and they're like, I'm about to get rich when they win the Stanley Cup.
It's a good move. I mean, they're a solid team. And then Ottinger, that dude's a beast.
I would
Water.
right now. I would say that like
I know he hasn't been as good lately. I'm a big Miro Heiskanen crusher. I love him.
he is Hedman 2.0.
Yeah.
Seriously, he reminds me of Victor Hedman.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I like Jamie Benn coming back and like getting into shape and just trying to prolong his career by just being
Him and Sagan. I mean, him and Sagan. It's awesome to see that they've come back and they are. Maybe they're not elite players, like they put up elite numbers 1 or 2 seasons, I get it, but like they're up there in like stars in the league now, or they're back up there in that star status. And that's so important because, I mean, it's important for the Stars. They need to get bang for their buck, quite literally, because they've invested a lot in those two players. And though the last few years, maybe they were a little bit of a hindrance. Ben more than Sagan, I'll say. Sagan just out due to injury, so if you want to call that a hindrance, fine. However, they're here this year, and I would say that they're probably going to win the Stanley Cup.
I hope they do. I love Pavelski. That guy. Played junior hockey against that guy.
No way.
And,
Dude, I love
When he
Pavelski.
was with Waterloo, I was with Tri-City. And I'll
Shout
just
out
never
Waterloo.
forget. The dude is a tank.
Man,
And-
he still is. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like dude, I swoon over him so much. Like it's insane. Like 38 years old?
Yeah,
37?
he's an 84.
Oh my
so.
goodness, man. Like
Yeah, he's 37, 38.
To be able-
No, he's 38 or 39, depending on when his birthday is. Because, I mean, if he has a early Jan birthday,
Well, and-
definitely could be that. But
again, like in this game, at this stage in your career, like guys that age who put their body through that much, like from junior all the way to the National Hockey League and playing the power forward game that he's always played, to be able to still put up top tier numbers is incredible. Like if he was a 40-point guy, I'd be giving him praise. He's still an 80-point guy.
yeah,
That's insane.
it is.
It's amazing.
And, like, the leadership that he's passing on to Robertson and Hintz.
Robertson, the true Calder winner.
See, they thought.
Yeah. I agree.
I think the key there, though, guys, is they thought that losing Thornton and or Marlowe would kill the Sharks. Losing Pavelski killed the
Oh, yeah. He was their
That
captain.
That was nail in coffin. Move on. Josh, I just poured for everybody the last beer of the day. I don't even know what it is because it's mislabeled, so you got to tell everyone.
That's how good it is right there. Yeah, this thing doesn't even need a label. No, but this right here, this is a collab, a very, very, very special collab. It's with A to Z Creamery, an ice cream business. And this ice cream business is so popular that you can't even go to their ice cream place and actually purchase their ice cream. It doesn't even exist. They release 1 pint of ice cream a week, and it sells out in minutes online. And
What a model.
it's incredible. It's incredible.
It feels like way too much work, though, to like make 1 pint of ice cream a week. Like,
Oh, I mean,
You don't know the price of this pint,
I
though.
mean, they're selling like 1,000 pints,
oh,
but like it's
Okay.
only one flavor. So
I thought you
sorry,
meant...
my bad.
I'm-
Gosh,
I'm
I was
very-
like, I was
My
like,
bad.
I was like, you literally collaborated with an ice cream company that puts out like a $50,000
Yeah.
pint a week. Like, are you crazy?
okay. Now we're back
All right.
on. We're on the
So,
right spot.
so the fun part about this is a malted milk. Well, it's an imperial stout with malted milk, Oreo
So
and
good.
Maustra coffee. And A to Z is actually making an ice cream with the exact same flavor combination.
Will we get the logo on
We're
there?
instead of they're not using malted milk, we're using that because we didn't want to use an ice cream base. We use malted milk instead of
Yeah.
the ice cream base. But they actually took some of the wort from this imperial stout, reduced it, and creating a drizzle in the ice cream.
Oh, my
where
goodness.
the Oreo and coffee will ride that drizzle wave, creating like an Oreo magma type flavor in
Is
there.
it getting hot in here? Is it
It's-
just,
yeah,
is
it's
it
really-
just me?
Man, you-
Next Saturday, this is out.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible, Josh.
So the first weekend of February, this will be out, and Chris Kelly Live will be performing that Saturday.
Oh, I'm
First
gonna be here.
Saturday of every month. I won't be there because busy.
That's a fact.
But
I'm skipping
it's
UFC
crazy,
for this.
man. The second you said, like, I was taking my sip, and you're like, malted milk. I'm like, this is malted milk balls right away with like a hint of coffee. That's basically what I get. I don't get a ton of the Oreo personally.
Man.
I also like. I don't care because there's so much going on that I don't know if I'd want to taste the Oreo on top.
The Oreo almost creates just a deep cookie fudge as opposed to the actual
I definitely want
Oreo
the deep fudge.
flavor. Yeah, it's
This
crazy.
is
You don't taste
so
so many
good.
beers with Oreos, so it's hard for me to make a comparison to.
Sure.
Many
Because
others?
they default to cookies and cream. That's why.
Yeah, it's a good default.
Interesting.
But yeah, this is.
Oh, I'm like savoring every sip. This is
It's- yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
man.
so if you were going to try to get this beer, we're not releasing. It's a very limited release. It's next Saturday. I dress warm and stand outside. It's going to be one of those types of days. But if you're trying to get the ice cream, you got to follow A to Z Creamery, and they randomly drop. There's no set schedule. They do it on their
Oh.
own terms. And if you're lucky enough to get a pint, that's awesome.
So
But
all
there's going
I'm
to be
hearing-
there's going to be 20 people that are lucky enough to score, like for sure score the ice cream and the beer, and that's through A to Z's platform, where you can add this beer in with your ice cream pint, or you can
You shall
be lucky enough
definitely dub the link in.
or you can be lucky enough to get their ice cream and then just come here and come here early on Saturday.
That's so amazing that they've because it's hard to create that want, that need in the market, and the fact that they've created that and tapped into that where people are like fiending for it, like I respect that so much. That's amazing.
It's wild. It is the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. I mean, it's insane.
Well, I mean, for $50,000 a pint, I mean, it
when-
better be.
when they give you a pint then from this collab, sounds like we're gonna have to get together and have some of it and do another recording.
That's a good idea.
Perfect.
I like that. I like
You have
that.
to have a couple of these in us first.
Yes.
yeah.
Now,
Oh, wait, you're slacking over there.
Yeah.
I know. I was.
yeah. I'm soft now, bitch. Now, last topic, at least last firm topic in the flight, we gotta talk about the origins of this beautiful creature, Bally. Don't forget to bring a bowl.
I'm gonna spill. That's a fun tagline, but the main tagline for Bally is "I'm a little tipsy."
Oh, that's good. So,
Not
Hobby, do you want
necessarily.
to tell Josh? I mean, you've already told. Like, I don't know if you've talked about it in the podcast, but
I think Josh can talk about it just as well as me. He
but
created a
I was
spin-off character.
no, but I was gonna say my reaction to it on
Oh,
social
God,
media.
Yeah, so Isha, I like tag him in and I'm like, you'll like this, and like later I see him and he's like,
This is proof I indulged, by the way.
like that Bowley thing's really cool, but like I look at its eyes, like it kind of looks like Towley, doesn't it? Just like, no shit.
That's literally what the response was.
If you actually read the post in entirety, it says modeled after Towley.
See, but this is I don't know how you're gonna take this, Josh. But
Isha's just like Michael Scott when he says, "Yeah, I invented the unicorn. I just came up with a horse and threw a spike in its head. Thought of it all by myself before anyone told me."
oh my goodness, no.
You decided that Bowley was a spinoff of Towley before you even knew that was the case.
I mean, yes, but I mean, and this is a comment. Anytime I see anything back channel, even if I don't have time to read it quickly, like I share it before I read it. So that was one of those cases where like I was probably on the shitter and I was going through and I was like, okay,
Fair
share
enough.
back channel, share this, share that, and I didn't have a chance to read that one. Unlike the promo video they did for the Green Party, and by the way, huge supporter of the Green Party in Canada. Glad I can continue to support them in the United States. I loved that video. I showed my roommate, and he was like, "Oh, this is awesome." He's like, "Wait, what is this though? It's non-alcoholic." I'm like, "It's a THC Seltzer." He's like, "Oh."
Yeah, we got to be careful when we're marketing this so that we don't get shadow banned by.
And
The-
you did it perfectly on Instagram because Instagram's the worst for shadow banning stuff. YouTube, they don't care much unless, honestly, unless you're talking about right now, you ain't gonna get shadow banned on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
You need to bleep that word out.
I know I will.
Way to go.
Jeez.
He said Prussia.
I know we were gonna post the Europe video, and I was like, do I put the Russian flag in the background or is KHL team? KHL team.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's still Russia, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh, what are the future plans for Boldy? Or Bowley.
Well, we're gonna reach
Oh
out
my
to
God.
Matt Boldy
Well,
and
first
see if
off,
we can do
we
a.
said that to you on the first episode
Yeah, I
we
know,
came on.
I
We
know.
said we need to make Matt Boldy.
Yeah.
That's got to happen at some point.
All right. If anybody out there wants to help make that a reality, let's do it. But no, Bowley.
This is an off-season drink for
The
you,
goal
Boldy,
of
by the
Bowley-
way.
the goal of Bowley would be to, I mean, you know, like what's the Kool-Aid Man?
Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
It's just Kool-Aid Man,
I
right?
think he's just Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully create a costume
Oh yes.
for Bowley that's like the Kool-Aid Man.
Just
And then
doesn't break
anytime
the
we
walls.
release a fresh IPA, you know, you get your opportunity to drink it out of a bowl, but you can also now take a picture with Bowley. And,
Oh my goodness.
You
And,
absolutely
yeah.
have to make. We'll help you make this video. We're gonna stack a bunch of cases of beer. It can be whatever, random assorted. Doesn't have to be back channel. But Bowley needs to like break through and just be like stumbling, like
Totally.
messed up.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bowley-
I have
Bowley
so
for
many
the win.
ideas. My
love it.
creative mind's going crazy right now. I can't wait. And actually, before I leave this brewery right here, I'm leaving with a Bowley shirt. I can't.
Hey
wait.
yo.
I got you. I'll set you up.
Now, all right, Josh, where are we at? We have a big event here today. Do we need to cut off, or do we have time for one or two more topics?
we can topic it up here. I feel
All
like
right.
we're you know
They're rolling.
they don't know, the viewers don't know right now, but we're watching everybody work outside.
randomly like look off to the side it's because I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah,
I will make up for this. I promise. I'm
it's-
going to help you guys
yeah.
out after
Yeah,
It's
Alyssa,
0
I'm so
degrees
sorry
outside.
I'm so sorry that Josh's poor planning means you hate me now.
We're planning.
I really liked you, but it's been
It's,
fun.
I'm keeping this in.
It's 0 degrees out, and we're inside drinking THC
I'm in a
Seltzer
t-shirt.
and Imperial Stouts, watching people work outside.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, we have to hit this then because we're going to be doing another promo here soon. But the creme de la creme for Minnesota beer drinking, the winter beer dabbler. We spent several minutes talking about how you are the party starters. Now, I'm showing up there an hour early because I got the bougie pass. What can me and all those that show up an hour after me expect from the back channel booth?
Well, we are going to be bringing the noise again for the 3rd year in a row. And by that, I mean we're bringing DJ Chime. We're also bringing DJ JD. Those are our two main DJs that we work with here at Back Channel. Special shout out to Dance Agenda, though. Dance Agenda for the win. But DJ Chime and DJ JD work with us on a lot of events here at the tap room, mainly the Ultimate Vikings Game Day Experience, RIP Vikings season. But no, I mean, we're going to be playing some tunes. We're going to be bringing a bunch of our merch. We're going to be bringing our squad. So we're going to be like our own little mini stage within the beer festival. And we're actually going to bring the A to Z collab, which is called the Swirly Mammoth. I failed to mention that earlier, so my bad. So we're going to bring the Swirly Mammoth. We're going to bring Sparky, which is the peanut butter imperial stout, and then we're going to be bringing in Barrel of Monkeys, which is the peanut butter banana vanilla cacao imperial stout. So those are going to be timed releases. Might do something a little special for the VIP because it's VIP and we want to hook them up. But we got 8 beers. We're going to bring our hot chocolate seltzer, our hot apple cider
That's
seltzer.
brilliant.
I'm so jealous that I didn't get my VIP tickets ahead.
That is
We're
brilliant.
bringing potentially either our one lager. Well, we're bringing one lager, so it's either going to be the Jager Czech Pils because he's not from Minnesota, but I mean Jaromir Jager has touched enough people in Minnesota.
Have you guys designed the can label yet?
No, but I do
I
have the
need
beer
creative
board. I
input.
got to show you the beer board.
I need
Beer board's banging.
I need creative input on the can label.
Yeah.
Grant me that.
All right,
For the Jager
I'll show
lager.
you the label. I'll show you the board after this, which is going to be,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm so
So yeah,
happy. I'm
Jager
so
Czech
happy.
Pils. So it's either going to be Jager or Cornelius, which is our Mexican lager, and then we'll have, we're going to have a banging IPA, and I actually can't tell you what IPA it is because
We'd have to kill you.
It's a secret for a number of reasons. So I just can't do that. But it's banging. Banging IPA.
Word for it.
We're
What a
gonna bring another sour called Sinister Smile, and that is a strawberry tangerine creamsicle sour, 5.5%. Another banger. Just had it yesterday for the first time. It's not even released in the tap room yet. Will be soon. And then I think there's something else in there, but I can't even remember.
That's
If I didn't reach 8,
Now,
we got 8
people-
beers.
I can't stress this enough. Whether you're a VIP, whether you get there on time or late, first stop, because it's right inside the entry, should be back channel, because if you wait, I promise you, it will be the second longest line, period, end of statement. Josh, I can't even pretend, because, it broke my heart how long Drecker's line was.
Yeah.
They will be the longest line every time.
Dreck
Yours
Town.
is the second longest.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. We would appreciate that. We're gonna.
No, it's going to
we're
be
keep
my
bringing it.
whole mission, this winter dabbler, to make your line longer than Drecker's.
I appreciate it. Hey, shout out to Drucker though.
No, a healthy
We're
competition.
gonna be going to
healthy
we're going to their Fuller's Ball on April 1st. We're gonna be, I think, one of 5 Minnesota breweries, and then one of 40 breweries all around. And we love everybody at Drecker. They are the shit.
Yeah, they're friends
Good
of
people.
us.
I was
They're
going to
friends of ours
say,
as well.
let me know when you get that invitation hooked up.
Yeah.
But
We'll do.
No, this,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we're hoping for it. You know, I mean, we don't do a ton of brew fests. We love the Winter Dabbler. We love the Dabbler as a whole, and try to participate in
Well,
many
and you were
events we
saying-
can
Best
with them.
people. Beer Dabbler.
that these are now available at the Dabbler Coffee
Yep.
Shop as well, folks. So
Yep.
if you're a Beer Dabbler fan, if you go to the Depot, check out Green Party there as well.
Yes, especially
You can also-
if you're not on the west side of the city.
You can also pick that up at Down in the Valley. Because Down in the Valley is just, I mean, come on,
It's down in the valley.
Down in the Valley.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay.
Oh.
I'm still new.
He'll know. He'll learn.
Okay,
He'll learn.
last thing, Josh, before we hang up the skates, you said you wanted to talk about the quick origin story of this once we were lit
yeah,
up by
for
it.
sure.
I feel like
it.
I feel like the strobe lights are they're going. So
Yeah, well,
tell
you
us
know,
the story before we wrap this up.
A lot of other THC seltzer brands play on to the old adage that marijuana is gonna make you sleepy and go to bed, and it can do that, but it doesn't need to do that. And with our THC seltzer right here, you're gonna get a nice body high off of it, but you don't need to go to bed. Make
Enjoy
it a party.
it. Make it a
You know, we just have it right here. Like, I'm not going to bed. Are you gonna go to bed? We got a bunch of puppies to go and
I got
pet later
puppies.
on here.
Yeah, I'm so wired.
So you know, you don't always need to relate the two of THC and being tired. This right here is a perfect companion for a good time at any time of the day. But we actually named this after kind of a controversial figure in Minnesota. Some would say that. I think he's an awesome dude, but a famous wrestler, former governor, Jesse Ventura, who is now a member of the Green Party. He was an independent when he was a governor at Minnesota, and he's now kind of transitioned and is a member of the Green Party. And the Green Party supports everything THC as well as everything environmental. And we are, I consider myself an environmentalist, and I think that we're all in support of making sure that we take care of the land around us. So Green Party for the win.
Josh, like I was saying, in Canada, I would vote for the Green Party, and I'm excited to support it here in the United States as well, buddy. Let's go.
Boom.
All right, folks, like and subscribe. We'll do more flights in the future. Thank you so much, Josh. Support Back Channel Brewing if you are in the cities or in the state of Minnesota. And if you're going to the Winter Dabbler, be sure to check them out. Peace.
Later.
Somewhere on the sea, it got a little longer, so it seems. I bring out, so to speak. Now come a little closer. I feel a little light in the light track. I felt a bit of bad, but I came back. There's still a little light in the light crack. my mind can't find the words. No, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying to get reason, rhyme, and take a time and choose whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello. Sometimes when you mean, you put a little bit of gasoline. I burned out so sweet. Come a little closer. Here's some disclosure. Do you mind to quit your pretending? Truth or false, shit never.